Hi-ho 420 MSP, Harry here at an undisclosed location in Austin, Texas. So I got to kind of lower my voice for this conversation in the state of Texas, but we're going global. And we are back with Jim Remke out of the Chicago, Illinois area, someone we chatted with a few months ago at the Point of Sale Remarketing Group. So Jim, by way of introduction, please reintroduce yourself and your company. Then I want to talk about the state of Illinois.
Sure, yeah, we're Point of Sale Remarketing Group. We've been in business for 15 years, and we basically sell hardware to retail environments, including cannabis dispensaries. And then we also provide services for the life cycle of that equipment. So anything from rolling it out, installing it, maintaining it, and then decommissioning it, recycling it responsibly, and doing the data destruction and stuff like that.
Excellent. Well, Jim, when you and I met, this is actually a really good story. And as you know, at the 420 MSP community, we're about community. We like to keep the stories real. And so you and I had the pleasure to be introduced to each other in early May. I was out in my industry. It was a workshop called the Channel Pro SMB Forum. And you and I chit-chatted, and that was literally the day a couple of state senators in the legislature of the state of Illinois introduced the bill for adult recreational use, adult use. It was very interesting. I believe in your state, that bill had a rider to expunge convictions. We don't always see that. Those are typically two separate motions. So that was very interesting in the legislation. Jim, I believe the bill was signed by your governor in June. So give me an update from what is going on as we come up to the new year, June to January 1. What's your story?
Yeah, so yeah, they did pass it, and they have since started an application process as of October 1st. There is a social equity portion, so if you have a majority owner who's a woman, a minority, or somebody who has had a previous record that's since been expunged, you get extra points on your application. So it's a point-based application process. And it's all, there's different sections, and based off who scores the highest amount of points, the licenses will then be awarded. And I think there's also, they figure out a way to, determine where the licenses are going, because they've broken down the zones already and how many licenses are going to be distributed in each of the zones. Obviously, most of them are around the Chicago metropolitan area. So that's the process that's going on right now, and then I believe the applications close after the new year. This is only for adult use dispensary licenses.
Right.
And then they're actually opening up a new set of applications for infusers, transportation, and craft grow.
The supply chain, yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to try to complete the supply chain with that. So right now, all the supply is coming from medical grow operations, so they know they're going to have more grow operations to meet the demand.
Yeah, and then if you had to, call it as it is, right? Think of yourself as a Sunday NFL football analyst, making predictions. So we get to the first of the year. Will there be this instant opening of shops on New Year's Day kind of thing? And is it all going to happen at once, or realistically, it takes time?
Well, there will. So as of January 1st, 2020. You will be able to go into an existing medical dispensary as a recreational customer and buy whatever they're selling. So I think, the thing is so medical dispensaries can declare whether they want to take those types of sales or not. Most of them are saying they will. And then some of the other groups that own medical dispensaries, everybody has an option to open a adult use dispensary for every medical dispensary that they have. They have to go through a separate application process for that. Now, the state's already approved some of those applications, and some of these groups are in the process of building out those adult recreational dispensaries as we speak. So I don't know that they will be open and ready, but as of January 1st, you will be able to go into medical dispensary, or if those other adult use dispensaries are open by then, you will be able to go into those. So
wow.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. Well, that's going to be a hell of a New Year's Eve when the ball drops and it hits 12:01 a.m. Let me tell you.
Yeah, and talking with some of the people here who are a little more tapped into the network, they're saying that they expect the supply to they're wondering if the supply will hold up. So we'll see what happens. But
no, exactly that. I had the great fortune 13 months ago of being in Montreal on day one for the Canadian mid-October when Canada went live. And boy, you talk about supply chain shortages and problems, man. They ran out.
Yeah.
Hey, finally, Jim, I'm going to see you at the show of all shows. We're going to see Dwayne Roebuck from Blue Star, a few others at MJ Biz, roughly mid-December. I believe it's the 11th through the 13th, somewhere into that 3 days of that week. And what does MJ Biz mean for you? So do you have a booth? Are you on the floor?
Yes, we're on the floor. We're on booth C2434, so it's the central hall. And we have a couple different partners in there that are helping us with other parts of the complete vertical. So a partner is going to be in there with us talking about grow solutions and processing solutions. And then we have somebody that's helping us with actually processing payments. So we will be there, and that means it's a big show for us. It was actually the busiest show I've ever been to out of any show that we've done. The first day was, there were 5 of us in the booth, and we were each about 2 to 3 people deep for questions for the first 4 to 5 hours of the show. So it's a busy show. It's a big show. There's a lot of people there.
Unbelievable. In fact, what I'll do is I do want to shoot some tape with you there, but I'll wait till day 3. I'll wait till the back 9, knowing that. But it is a big show, and here's what I predict. You know, I'm an analyst. Well, I'm a bunch of things, but one of my hats is to be an analyst in technology. I go to a lot of shows, and you know, I've talked to the group out of Denver that runs MJ Biz, and they apparently took the north and south halls this year. The auto auction was down in the other hall last year. They've taken both. They're saying 1,300 booths, which I believe, quite frankly, I think they're being modest. They're saying 35,000 attendees. Jim, I think it's got momentum to go north of 50. And again, that's just my uneducated guess.
Yeah, I haven't been to a show where all the halls are filled. I heard the Consumer Electronics Show there fills the whole place, but this will be the biggest show I've ever been to at that convention center. And the one that was bigger that I went to was the car wash show, and that's only big because there's so much. They're setting up whole car wash tunnels, you know. This is going to be huge. I would say way more than whatever they're predicting, and the amount of booths doesn't surprise me either.
Yeah. Well, hey, just to give our listeners context, it's the day before Thanksgiving, and Jim is the only thing standing between me and the barbecue to give the turkey the hot foot. So, Jim, I'm going to sign off. We'll see you about 3 weeks. We'll see you down in Vegas in about 3 weeks. Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, my friend.
Looking forward to it. Happy Thanksgiving. Can't wait to see you at the show.
All righty.
Have a good one.